Morning, Revi.
Morning, everybody. Today is Daf Kuf Tes in Masechah Shabbos. It's a nice long Gishmak Blat. The plan is some of you have to log off early. I want to get to the Mishnah on top of the next Amud. So, FYI, Mishnah. Hopefully, we can keep it in a half hour. But let's rock and roll. So we are talking about honoring Shabbos Devim Maisim. 6 lines from the top of Kuf Tes Amud Aleph. Rabbi Chanina miatef the klapnai l'mali mishabas amrboy v'neitze the kras Shabbos hamalka. So Rabbi Chanina used to go ahead and adorn himself, right, in special clothes, right, Shabbos clothes, right, and he would go out and greet the Shabbos queen, right. He would say, come out and he would say, amrboy, he says, come Shabbos queen. And Rabbi Yanai lavish mani b'al Shabbos, and similarly, Rabbi Yanai used to go out also in special clothing. You put on Friday. V'omar boi kala boi kala. You come on Friday early and say boi kala, right? Similar to that which you do in L'Chadaydi. Rabbi Rav Huna iklo lebei Rabbi Bar Rav Nachman krivelei tlas say tachui. So one time he was at the house. He saw they had these 3 different special cakes. These like fried cakes dough. Amalei mi havi adisan dasinu. Did you guys know, right, that you knew I was coming? You made a special treat for me here on Friday, right? You made a special treat. Right? Are you more special to us than Shabbos, right? We didn't make it for you. You happened to come here while we were making these special, treats for Shabbos, but we actually made it for covered Shabbos, not covered for you. Rabbi Abbas Davim Teleisar Yistare Pshite Bisra Miteleisar Tavchi used to go out and spend 13 astiri. Right, 13. I think it's Nisarim or 13 Salayim, right, of meat at 13 different butchers. He would go around town. Each place. This one place is the best schnitzel, and this place is the best, roast, and this place is the best this, and this is the kugel. You go each place, 13 different butchers. You get 13 pieces of meat. Umashim lu, and sorry, the dashin. You go ahead and you quickly get it, and you take it, bring it to the doors, right, of those who are preparing the meal. V'amarlu ashur haya, right? Hurry up! Let's prepare this food for Shabbos. Revo Havi Yosef tach deshina umushif nura. He used to go ahead and he would sit like on a stone on an ivory bench. He was very wealthy, and nevertheless he would sit there and he would be fanning the fire. He'd fan the fire because he wants to get the fire ready to go in order to go ahead and prepare the food for Shabbos. And Ravanan Lavish Gunda, and he used to go ahead and wear an apron, all right, on Erev Shabbos, right? It was dark, as Rashi points out. And you put it on the time of a person goes ahead and the clothes that he's wearing for cooking should not be the clothes he's using for serving. So therefore, he put on black clothes so he can go ahead and get down and dirty when making the Shabbos food. But then he would obviously change out into nicer Shabbos clothes when it comes to eating the Shabbos meal and greeting the Shabbos queen. And Rav Sabra Machrich Reisha, Rav Sabra used to go ahead and singe the head, I guess, of the meat. And Rava Malach Shivuta, he would go ahead and salt the fish. And Rav Huna Malik Shragi, he would light the candles. Rav Papa Gadab Silasa, he would go ahead and take care of prepare the wicks. Rav Chizda Parim Silka, he would go ahead and chop the beets. And Rabbi Rav Yosef Matzah Chetzivi, they would go ahead and chop the wood. And Rav Zera Maskit Tsutsusi, right? He would also go ahead and kindle the fire. Rav Nachum Bar Yitzchak Mechatef Va'ayel Mechatef Ayel, he would go in and out, bringing the packages in and out. Sa'amar Ilu Mekalin Li. So what did Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak say? So he said, even if would I not go ahead and busy myself if I had great guests such as Rav Ami Rabasi, right? I would be going in and out and bringing in stuff and taking out stuff and preparing, right? Certainly, right? I would do the same thing for the Shabbos, which is even greater than Rav Ami Rabasi. Some say some say they were the ones who were going in and out, back and forth, carrying in packages for the purpose of Shabbos. Right? If Rabbi Yochanan was coming to us, being a guest by us, would we not do the same? Of course we would. So therefore, that's how we did it. Now comes a cute Maisa. Yosef Meiker Shavi. Yosef, he was known as Yosef Meiker Shavi. He was known as Yosef, who would go ahead and honor the Shabbos, right? They honor the Shabbos. That was his name, Yosef. Mr. Yosef honor Shabbos. There was a certain guy in his neighborhood, the Havi, Nefishe Nechse Tuva. He was very wealthy. So Amri Lahai Gadai Lekulu Nechse Yosef Mukir Shavi, right? So Achilhus. He said all of your wealth and your riches are going to be eaten by Yosef Mukir Shavi. right? They're going to be eaten by him. So they told him that the astrologers, whatever it is, the palm readers. So Azil, Zavninu Lakula Nichse, he went there and he got nervous. He was going to take all his possessions. So he sold all his possessions in Zavibu Marginisa, right? He went ahead and he bought the very, very precious pearl or stone, Asina Basaina, and he put it in his hat so he would never be away from it. So he was always controlling his money. So the guy went and had it. So Bahadi, they call Aver Mavra, when he was going and passing a driz, Avache Zika Shadi B'maya, right? So a wind came, of course, and blew this stone, right, or blew his hat off, and the stone fell out. This pearl fell out into the water. And Bolek Kavre, so and what happened? So the a fish, saw the pearl, whatever it was, and it swallowed it. It swallowed it. So what happened? So Askula, I say Panay de Mali de Sharas. So one time, a fisherman caught this fish, and the fish that swallowed this expensive pearl and brought it to the marketplace on Erev Shabbos. However, Amar Man Zavik Yashta, who's going to go ahead and buy it now? It was very late Erev Shabbos. So what do they say? Amarlu Zilam Tui Legabi Yosim Mukir Shabi de Ragil Zav. You need to sell something on Erev Shabbos, right? Something good, even though the markets are closed, no buyers. Go to Yosim Mukir Shabi, right? He's the one. He'll buy anything for Kavod Shabbos. So he went to his house. Amtuye Nile Zavni. So he went to him, indeed, right? He went there and he bought it, right? He bought the fish. He says, "Oh, I got a good fish for Shabbos. Okay, I'll take it. Right, done. Have you sold?" So Kari Ashke Bergadisa. So he saw when he had he opened up the fish Friday night, and he saw there was this precious stone inside, and indeed, right, he did swallow all the wealth of that gentleman. And Zavni Teletar Ilasa the Dinari did off. So he went there and he sold that one pearl for what was it? Tleisa, right? 13 attics full of gold, right?
Hold on, I gotta interrupt you on this myself, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So, are we talking about one person Yosef or two different Yosefs?
One guy. One guy.
So one guy is Goy, and he loves Shabbos.
No. There's a Jew. His name is Yosef Mekir Shabi, right? Okay. He honored Shabbos. There was a guy who they told him that this Jew, Yosef Mekir Shabi, is going to go ahead and basically he's going to consume all of your assets. And the guy got nervous. He was bugged out. So he's like, "Oh, I'm going to sell all my assets and I'll put it in a pearl and I'll leave it in my hat. And this way he'll never be able to go ahead and get my assets." And because he honored Shabbos, because his honor of Shabbos, because the end of the fish came to him because they knew he was going to buy it. Therefore, indeed, it did become true. And Pagabeo Saba and a certain elder came, right? Elianavi, right? So Pagabeo Saba came to him, and what happened? And he said, "And Amri Man the Yaziv Shabbos Parya Shabbos." A person who goes ahead and he borrows and he spends on Shabbos, Shabbos will go ahead and pay him back. So whatever one spends on Shabbos, Shabbos will pay him back, right? Very important, Musar. So Rabbi Shmuel bar Rabbi Yosi. So Rabbi asked a question from Rabbi Shmuel bar Rabbi Yosi. Ashir Sheretz b'mahim zeichen. What are people who are wealthy in Eretz Yisrael from what are they zeichen from? Similar, b'shvil shemazrim, because they give ma'aser. Shnei the pasuk says aser ta'aser, right? You go ahead and you take a tenth in order to become wealthy. There's asher shebishvil tizasher, right? You should go ahead and give a tenth in order that you can go ahead and become wealthy. Shebaval b'vayim zeichen. What are those who are wealthy in Bavel? What are they zeichen from? Similar, b'shvil shemechabdim es the Torah, because they go ahead and they honor the Torah. Which are artzos b'vayim zeichen to other lands outside of Bavel and outside of Israel. The wealthy ones, where do the wealth come from? Because they honor Shabbos. It's a school for wealth. One time I saw this certain balabais in Lutkaya, right? You thought you were fancy. What do you have there? They brought out in front of a golden table, right? That was carried by 60 men. Yes.
When you test God, is it showing lack of faith?
When you what?
When you test God, is it showing lack of faith?
You're not testing him, but many, for honoring, one does not get, punished, is not using up his money when he honors Shabbos, right? It's honor Shabbos. That's Shabbos paying for Shabbos, right? So if one had a lot of money, right, it could be that either he was, his mazel was for the fact that he honored Shabbos. It's not a question of lack of faith or not. So we say over here. So how speaking of this table, the right, there were 16 chains or silver chains to it. They were in it, and also cups and plates and all other things attached to it. And on all types of foods and desserts, right, and spices, everything was on. When he put it in front of him, he said, Hashem, the entire land is his. The heavens is for Hashem, that the land was given to man, but this is all because of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So how did you get such a wealthy table? Where did all this money come from? So he said to him, I used to be a butcher. Anytime I saw a great piece of meat, I would basically, take that piece of meat for myself and say, I'm going to take this piece of meat for Shabbos. Right? Fortunate for you, right, that you did this for the sake of Shabbos. And fortunate Hashem that he indeed repays those who take for Shabbos. So Amar Lekei, so Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya says the Caesar to Rabbi Yeshua ben Chananya, Mipnei Matav Shel Shabbos Reicha Noidaf, right? Why does what is that good smell, right, that you guys have on Shabbos, right? I can smell it. So Amar Lekei, Tablun Echad Yesh Lanu v'Shabbos Shemo, right? We have a special spice. It's called Shabbos, right? The cholent on Thursdays, the cholent on Sundays. They make cholent during the week. Does not taste the same as that which you have on Shabbos morning. Why is that? Because there's a special spice called Shabbos. Because we put it in, we put in the Shabbos. That's the special ingredient, and then its aroma, carries, it smells. Okay, says the Caesar. Okay, I want to try some of it. Call Hamasham is a Shabbos, Mayalo, Shem Shabbos, Shabbos, and Mayalo. If you Shomer Shabbos, then you can taste the spice. If you're not Shomer Shabbos, I can't help you. Even if you eat on Saturday, you do the same exact thing. If you're not Shomer Shabbos, this spice of Shabbos will not go ahead and help you. So what does it possibly mean? Like Kodesh Hashem Mechubad. That was Kodesh Hashem is Mechubad. So over here, we know Shabbos is called, as Rashi points out, Shabbos is called Oneg Shabbos. So what is this Kibbutz Shabbos? So how could you be Mechabed Shabbos if it's not through Oneg? So Amar is Yom Kippurim Shein Bo Lo Yechil V'Shtir, because Oneg is when you eat or drink. So how do you honor something without eat or drink? That's called Oneg. So what is honoring without eat or drink? So how do you go ahead and honor Yom Kippurim? By dressing in nice clothes. Dressing in nice clothes, that's considered to be honoring it. And you honor it. Rav Amar Lahaktim Ushmol Amar La'acher. So Rav says to be maktim it, you go ahead and you bring in Shabbos early. And Shmuel says that you go ahead and you keep Shabbos late. These are ways of honoring it that has nothing to do with food or drink, because either you bring in Shabbos early or you end Shabbos late. And so Amru Lei B'nei Rav Papa Bar Abba Rav Papa. So says the children of Rav Papa Bar Abba to their father Rav Papa. What are us? We got meat, right? We got wine every day. So how do we show cover for Shabbos? So how can we go ahead and do different? We have wine and meat during the week also, right? I guess they're wealthy. So right? If you normally you eat early, eat later, right? So you'd be hungrier. If you normally eat later, eat earlier. So then it basically shows that you're love for Shabbos. So therefore, change up, have it Shabbos a little different. Now, during the summer, right? Rav Sheshes, who he used to go ahead and sit, right? He was blind, right? Rashi points out. And he wasn't able to see. So in the summer, he would go ahead and put, I guess, the students out where the sun would shine later on. And in the winter, you go ahead and put them basically in the shade. And in other words, in order that they would go ahead and leave quicker. In other words, if they would sit in the sun and all of a sudden they would get too hot, they would leave there. Therefore, or it would get too cold in the summer by when the shadows come, and therefore he knew now it was getting closer time for Shabbos, and therefore basically, that would be like his signal, when to end Shir and when to begin, his getting ready for Oneg Shabbos to bring it in early. And Rav Zera Mahader Azuze Zuzi de Rabbanan. He would go ahead and he would find, let's say, the different pairs of Rabbanim who were learning Chavrus Zarmalei b'matusa b'neichulo tasli l'nonya. He says, right, please don't go and be Mechal Shabbos. Doesn't literally mean Mechal Shabbos, but don't waste your time not enjoying Shabbos, right? You're sitting here learning, that's great, but time to go ahead and enjoy Shabbos. And Amar Rav Vitem Rabbi Shimon Levi, Afilu Yachanim is Pal Be'er Shabbos Tzarich Lamad Ve'echulu. Even a person, he's in quarantine, he's not with anybody else in quarantine. How do you say Ve'echulu? You're supposed to do the Eidos testimony, testifying Hashem's creation of the world. Nevertheless, even by yourself, you say Ve'echulu. Damar Rav Hamnuna, Kolam is Pal Be'er Shabbos Va'imir Ve'echulu. Ma'alo of a custom kilu nasa shuta b'kodesh baruch hu b'ma'aser bereishis. Person says even diving alone, he says vaychulu. He is like a partner in a kodesh baruch hu's creation of the world. Why? Shneimar, as the pasuk says, right? Vaychulu and I'll take vaychulu ela vayichalu. Right? It doesn't mean, and they were created. In other words, it doesn't mean that we, the people, were the subject, were created. Rather, we were the creators, right? We created with HaKadosh Baruch Hu by testifying to HaKadosh Baruch Hu's creation of the world. It's like we ourselves joined in the creation of the world. And Amar Rabbi Elazar, where do we see that? Dibur is the same as Maisa. Shinamar, as the pasuk says, right? Bedvar Hashem Shemayim Naser, right? With the word, the mouth. All right, Bedvar Hashem Shemayim Naser. That the heavens were created that way through the Dibur. And Amar Rav Chizam Ramukva Kol Mispal Be'er Shabbos V'Omer V'Echulu Shnei Malachi Asharis Malabin Loy L'Adam. Right. So a person goes ahead and he says V'Echulu. So you got two angels walking him outside a shul. Manichin Yadem Al Rosh V'Ayim Loy V'Sar Avenacha V'Chasecha Techupar. So they put their hands on his head and they say basically that you no longer have a sin. Basically they remove the sin from you. Right, this was referring to the Avera. Fine. So this was, I guess, referring to the person that I guess they're denying. Where is this pasuk from? Right, the pasuk is in Yeshayahu. Right, right. So he says by the fact that he's using his testimony for good things, that he's not withholding. Right, he's not withholding testimony. That he's basically saying the testimony, the edus, that he knows that a Kodesh Baruch Hu created the world. Therefore, he's not punished. Right, because one who withholds edus would be punished. But this person, since he's not withholding any sort of testimony by saying HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, therefore he is rewarded. And Tana learned by Rabbi Yosef Bar Yehuda Aimer, Shnei Malachi Asharis Malavin L'Adam B'Erev Shabbos Mi Beis HaKnesses L'Beiso. Echad Toiv Echad Ra. So a person, when he walks from Shul Friday night, he has two malachim, one on each shoulder, right? The good and the bad, right? You've seen those cartoons, right? You get the little devil on one side, the angel on the other side. Uksheba L'Beiso Matzah Ner Doluk V'Shulchan Aruch Mitasa Mutzas. When he comes home and he sees the house, the table is set, the candles are lit, the beds are made. Malach Toiv Amar Yiratzon Shtei L'Shabbos Acheres Kach. The Malach comes and says, Yiratzon, you should have this, but next week the same. The Malach Ra Aina Amen Bal Kleicha. The other Malach says against his will, he has to say Amen, right? He has to say, okay, Amen, yes, you should have it again. In other words, that steamrolls the next one. However, V'im Lov Malach Ra Aimer Yiratzon Shtei L'Shabbos Acheres Kach. But if the Shabbos is not ready for Shabbos, right? Nothing is ready. The table is not set, the lights are not on, it's not honoring Shabbos, then the Malach Ra says you should have another Shabbos like this. The Malach Taiv, Aina, Amen, Bal Karcha. Then the good Malach has his force basically to say Amen to that. So therefore, if you have a good Shabbos, or you come home to a Shabbos ready to go, then the Malach Tov says you should have another one just like this, and the other one Malach has to agree. Omar, Rabbi Elazar, Shabbos, the person should always have his table set Erev Shabbos. Even if he doesn't have a kazayas, you should have a table set for Shabbos. Right? Right? And even for a Malava Malka, a person should also have his table set for a Malava Malka to go out Shabbos. Just like we honor Shabbos with coming in, so too we honor Shabbos by escorting the Shabbos out. And Chamim B'Tzei Shabbos Melugma and Pas Chamim B'Tzei Shabbos Melugma. Right? The hot water, because you can't really cook on Shabbos, so hot water is good. Maybe a hot tea or something after Shabbos. And warm bread, right? A pizza shop, right? A warm pizza, right? It's also good. Something which is freshly baked also is very good for a body after Shabbos when one cannot go ahead and eat up. And Rabbi Avo, Havi Avdin Lei, Ba'afuki Shabbos Igla Tilsa. He used to go ahead and he would take a very young calf, which is only a third of the size, and he would take it for Ba'afuki Shabbos, right? Havi Avdin Ba'afuki Shabbos, right? So you take it the night for Saturday night, Motzei Shabbos, and the night that Shabbos are God. And you just have the kidney from it. You just have the kidney. It's like a special part of this very fine calf meat, right? And Kigalda Avime Berei Amar. When his son grew up, Avime Berei said to him, "Lamale Avsuli Kolei Hai Nishbech Kol Yasim Motzei Shabbos." I don't understand, why do you make a special kid, right? A special meat, right? A special animal just for its kidney? I have an idea. Why don't we go ahead and eat Friday night food, leave over the kidney for Motzei Shabbos, then Motzei Shabbos will have the kidney. Why waste a good animal, right? You're wasting it. So, okay, you want to perhaps, maybe I'll take my son's advice, Shavkua, V'asa Aryeh Achle. So what happened? Okay, so next week they tried to save an animal, and what happened? A lion came and ate the lamb, or that they would have used for Motzei Shabbos. So now, even though they were trying to save and says, oh, we'll use the same one animal instead of two animals, one for Erev Shabbos and one for Motzei Shabbos, they saw that a lion came and ate up the animal of Motzei Shabbos. So even though you thought you were saving money, you thought you were saving animals by using one for both meals, we see that there is no shortcuts. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if you don't need two of them, then I'll take away the second one. It's not like it's free. You're not gaining anything. So like we saw earlier, person's Mechabed Shabbos, right? That's the reason. It pays back the person. And a person who says, right, Amen, right, his name should be great and blessed with all his strength, all his might. Like Gzardino, his Gzardin, right, his evil decree is torn up, right? Shinamar, as the pasuk says, Bifra Parais B'Yisrael B'Yisnadiv Im Baruch Hashem. So it says over there, with all the bad things that happen, the perennials and the punishments happen, right? But it's not right? And notice when they say Baruch Hashem, so my time before perennials. What's the reason why that their perennials will be missed and they won't have their punishments? Mishum de Baruch Hashem, because they'll bless Hashem. They'll say Yehi Shmei Rabbah. And Rabbi Chia bar Abba Rabbi Yochanan, even a person has issues of Avodah Zarah, he's committed Avodah Zarah, nevertheless he's still forbidden if he says Yehi Shmei Rabbah. Ksiv Hach says over here before pros that over here that now is his paros will be right. He won't have them; will be averted. Right? Ksiv Hach says there ki paruahu. It says that there paru referring to the chet ego. So we see that over there paru is lashon. It was linking Avodah Zarah. So even if a person has Avodah Zarah, right, in his he's performing Avodah Zarah, if he says Yehi Shmei Rabbah with all his might, then that will be also his punishment. He can avoid that punishment. And Amar Reish Lakish Kol Ha'ina Amen, but Kol Kaych, whoever says the word Amen with all his strength, Peischel Shara Gan Eden will open up the gates of Gan Eden. Shinaz Pas says Peischel Shara v'Yavo Goy Tzadik Shemer Emunim. Open up the gates for Shemer Emunim. What does it mean, Shemer Emunim? Atikish Shemer Emunim Ela Shemer Amen. Those who say Amen, open up the gates for the Gan Eden for those who say Amen with all their might. And my Amen, what does Amen mean? Amar Rabbi Chanina, Kel Melech Neman. It means Hashem, right, is Melech Neman, right? He's a trustworthy king. And Amar Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Yeshua Mishvei Rav, Eina Dleika Motzei El B'Makom Sheish Chil Shabbos. Where is fire, right, found, right, say on a Friday night, where is fire found? In places where there is Chil Shabbos, Shinamar, as the pasuk says, V'im Lo Yisishmu Elai L'Kadesh Yom HaShabbos, Levilti, Se'es Masa, right? So it says if you don't listen to me to go ahead and be Makadesh the Shabbos, right, and not carry anything, the Hitzati Eish B'Sharel, right? I'll send out a fire in their gates, V'Achla Armos Yerushalayim V'Lo Yisichba, right? I'll send out a fire throughout the Jerusalem, and they will not be put out. And my V'Lo Yisichba, what does it mean it won't be put out? So Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak B'Shah She'en B'nei Adam Matzin Le'Kavos. A time when people aren't found to go ahead and extinguish it, such as Friday night because it's Shabbos. And Amar Abayi Le'Chav Yerushalayim El B'Shul Sheichlu B'As Shabbos. Now we're going to have a bunch of statements of why Yerushalayim was destroyed. So one of which was because of they were Mechal Shabbos. Shinamar the pasuk says in Shabbos Halimu Einayim Ve'Achel B'Soichem. Says from Shabbos, right? They their eyes left Shabbos. They stopped keeping Shabbos. And therefore, I was mundane, right, in there amongst them. And therefore, because of that Yerushalayim was destroyed. And Amar Revo Lo Yichav Yerushalayim El B'Shil Shabitul Kriyas Shema V'Shachas V'Arvis. They were mevatel Kriyas Shema both in the morning and night. As the pasuk says, Havi Mashkim V'Vayker Sheichar Yudafu Ksiv. It says they would wake up early, right, in order to have to drink. Right, and normally during times of Kriya Shema, they would wake up to drink instead of Kriya Shema. It says there, and says they would have all these musical instruments and they would play them and they would party right into the night, right? And they didn't look around and therefore they were exiled. In other words, they were since in the morning and night when they're supposed to be saying Kriya Shema, nevertheless, they were not saying Kriya Shema. They were busy drinking and partying. So therefore, I left amongst them, and therefore I sent an exile. I destroyed Yerushalayim. And Amar Rav Amnuna Lo Yichav Yerushalayim El B'Shil Shabitlu Batinogas Shel Beis Rabban. Yerushalayim was not destroyed, but only because of they destroyed the chadarim of the young children. Shinamar, as the pasuk says, Shveich Al Eilal B'Chutz. Right. So it says over there, right, to pour out the anger into the streets and the children. Right. So matam shefach. What was the reason why they were out? Mishum da'ela b'chutz, because the children were outside. Why was there anger? Why was there destruction? Because the children were out. The children were no longer in Tinoka. They were no longer in the Beis Rabbin. They were no longer in the Chadarim learning. And because they weren't embarrassed for one another. It says, right? Says over there, it was a toeva, right? It was a toeva that they committed because they weren't embarrassed for one another. And right? Because there was no difference between someone who was great and someone who was small. Says, the nation would be like a Kohen, right? The land was empty. In other words, it was empty because the Kohanim were like everybody else. In other words, basically those who were great were belittled, and those who were little, they stood up, and therefore the great ones are not considered great, and the little ones are not considered little, right? In terms of Talmud Torah, or in terms of holiness, these people, and therefore because their priorities are all mixed up, therefore there was destruction. And Amar Rav Amam Bered Rav Yeshimon Bar Abba Amar Rav Yeshimon Bar Abba Amar Rabbi Chanina Sidnei Chanina Lo Yichavi Shleim El B'Shil Shelo Yichichu Zod Zod. They did not give tochah to one another. Shneimar, the pasuk says, Hayu Sarel Kayolim Lo Yimatzu Mirma. Right, their officers were like ayelim, right, like a ram, right, and they did not find anywhere to go ahead and graze. Just like when they're going grazing, right? Their head is basically right to the behind of the others. Their heads are down. They're not looking up, right? So too, Bnei Yisrael, their heads were in the ground, and they were not giving tochacha to one another, they were not rebuking others for doing wrong. And since they didn't rebuke others, therefore Yerushalayim was destroyed. And they were mavaza. The Talmud Chacham says, right? And they went ahead and they mocked, right, those who are messengers from Hashem. Right? And they would go ahead and make fun of the Nevi'im. And it says over there, until Hashem got so angry with him that there was no merape, right? There was no medicine. My ad ein marpe. Some review the marab call mavaz tamechacham ein loy refuah l'makasa. Whoever is mavaz, whoever embarrasses and puts down and shames the Talmid Chacham, such a person, there is no refuah for that iniquity. And Amar Rav Yehuda Marav, Kol Ma'azich Siva, the pasuk mean al tigu b'mishichai b'nevi al tareu. So what does it mean? The pasuk when it says, right, don't touch Mashiach. He was my appointed one, right? The Mashiach, right? And Avim do not do bad to. So I'll take it Mashiach. Elo Tinaga Shabbos Rabban. That's referring to the Tinaga Shabbos Rabban. There's the school children who are learning Torah, who are of purity. That's referring to the Talmid Chacham. So Amar Reish Lakim Shem Rabbi Yehuda ben Sia Eina Eilam is Kaim El B'Shil Hevel Tinaga Shabbos Rabban. Right. The only reason why the world exists is because of the breath, because of the existence of the Tinagas Shabbos Rabban, because the young school children who are innocent who are learning Torah. Right. So Amar Le Rav Papa Labaye I Didi V'Didi What about you and me? I know we're not school children, but we're great Talmid Chacham. Why isn't the world being kind because of us? So right? There's no difference between somebody who learns who has no sins. Children have no sins, right? They're not responsible for their sins. They're too young, versus somebody who's older who perhaps could have a sin. So therefore, the purity of those school children who learn Torah is much greater than that of adults. We don't stop the children from learning, even to go ahead and build the Beis Hamikdash. This is what I was mekabel for my fathers, some say even from your fathers. Now, it was your fathers because he was saying to Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, from the Beis Nasi. Kolir shein batinoikas shel Beis Rabban machribin oisa. Any city that does not have the young, right, a cheder, right, for children to learn Torah, right, that city is to be destroyed. And Ravina Omam machribin oisa, right, it'll be cherem, like there will be nothing left of it, not even just destroyed, but even nothing left. From such a city which does not have Tinagas Shel Beis Rabban. Why was Yerushalayim destroyed? Because there was no trustworthy people left there anymore. As the pasuk says, right? Go out and look in Yerushalayim and see, look in the streets. Right? Go ahead. If you find somebody who's trustworthy, right? Someone who I can trust, who is honest, then I will forgive. I will forgive Yerushalayim. But in other words, you can't go ahead and find anybody who's not trustworthy in Yerushalayim. Therefore, it was destroyed. Even the time when Yerushalayim was being destroyed, there was still, did not cease from there, a moment when people were not trustworthy. In other words, there were honest people, there were truthful people in that time. As the pasuk says, now we're going to bring a whole long proof. It says over there, ki yitbois Ish be'acha beis aviv simla lachein katan tialan, right? So when someone was looking for somebody, he was looking for his brother, right, in his father's house, and not literally, but he was looking for other Jews. And he says, "Do you have a simla? Right? Do you have a garment or a beged? What does that mean? With Dvarim it wasn't. And what is this? What is this beged? Why are they asking for people? Hey, do you have a simla? Do you have this beged? Right? Dvarim shebnei adam mechasi ben kasimla yeshnecha biyadecha. Do you have something that people cover themselves? Right? People cover themselves. Whereas, do you have it in your hand? And what do people have? People have is referring to the reasons of Torah. In other words, they're looking for somebody. Hey, are you a Talmid Chacham? They're looking for a Talmid Chachamim, right? In other words, they cover themselves with Torah. So are you one of the looking for Talmid Chachamim? So right? And then it said over there that this stumbling block, right, was placed under your hand. What was it talking about over there? So Devarim Shem B'nei Adam Aim Dim Aleim, right? In other words, they're asking, do you have something that people normally stumble upon? People stumble upon Torah because they don't know it so much, therefore they stumble it. Do you have that which people stumble on, i.e., Torah, under your hand? So Katzin Tialanu, right? You'll be in charge of us. You'll be our officer, right? Katzin Tialanu Yisa Bayoim Ahu Lemor Lo Yeh Chovesh, right? Right, and then, but he said over there, the pasuk says, then he say, no, I will not be your leader. In other words, hey, are you a Talmid Chacham? You can be our leader? I don't know enough. I'm not a Talmid Chacham. They were being honest in terms of their lack of Torah. And Yisa el Lashon Shavua, and the Lashon Yisa over there is a Lashon of like a Lashon of making an oath. He says Hashem Hashem, you should go ahead and make an oath in Hashem's name. And says over there, I will not be a ruler. I'm not a Talmid Chacham. Or I will not be like somebody who is shut them off the house. And in my house there is no bread and no beged, no clothing. So they're honest, saying, no, I don't have Mishnah, Gemara, and Psukim. In other words, they're saying like this: whoever is a Talmid Chacham, go ahead and be our leader. We'll appoint you as a leader. And everybody was honest, and they said, we don't have Torah's not with me. I fail in that subject. So what we just said before Yerushalayim was destroyed because people weren't honest. But what do you see over here? The people were honest. I don't know. They were saying, I don't know anything in Torah, so I can't be appointed the leader, even though it would be very nice to be appointed the leader. So what do you see from here is you see there was honesty during the Churban. So what are you talking about? They say like this, really they weren't honest, but they couldn't lie because they were going to be caught in the lie. They'd say, oh yeah, I'm a Talmid Chacham, I'll be the leader. Oh, you're a Talmid Chacham? Let me ask you this Shaila. And then they would catch him. So since there was no really ability to lie, maybe that's why they're honest, but only because they couldn't cover it up. If they cover up, they would have lied. Well, maybe you could have said, oh, I learned it, but I forgot it. So my lo yeh chovesh. What does it mean that I'm not able to go ahead and chovesh and shut myself down and learn? It means I didn't learn it all. It wasn't like I used to learn and I forgot it. And everyone's honest and said, I never learned. So like Kasha, Kamba Divrei Torah, Kamba Masamata. When it comes to Divrei Torah, yes, they were still honest during the time of the Divrei Torah. But when it came to doing business, that the people were not so honorable and trustworthy and honest, and that's why the destruction came about. We'll stop here at the Mishnah. Everybody. Have a wonderful Shabbos.
Shabbos.